Pixar films are incredibly popular. They've been critically praised and showered with industry awards. On top of being great movies with action, humor, and heart, Pixar films are known for their thematic relevance and lessons. Each film contains not only a lot of fun, but also a good helping of wisdom. Despite the fact that the stars of these Pixar films are fish or rats, there is a real human side to every story. Today, we're going to dive into not only the meanings of each Pixar animated film, but also explore some hidden secrets and Easter eggs about the popular cartoon company. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more daily tips like this and turn on notifications so you never miss our new videos. Number 1. Ratatouille. While being outstanding just for making its audience hungry for fine French cuisine, Ratatouille's theme shows the importance of following a passion, no matter where you're starting from. Easter egg. This cartoon comes with a pretty adorable fact attached to it. After the film was dropped in 2007, British pet chain Pets at Home reported that their rat sales went up 50%, a number which they attribute to the rat in the film. We hope that the new owners kept their rats far away from their kitchen. Number 2. Inside Out. This imaginative tale stars a young girl's emotions, but its lesson is something we can all relate to. We should embrace emotions, even negative ones. Fun fact: making Riley's emotions shine in this emotional roller coaster of a film was pretty expensive. In fact, they pretty much broke the budget doing so. Production designer Ralph Eggleston had to say this about the whole process: "We worked on the idea of joy being effervescent or sparkly for champagne bubbles for about 8 months, and it got to the point where we couldn't afford to do it. There was just no way. None of the other characters had it, because we just couldn't afford it. When John saw it on Joy, he said, 'That's great. Put it on all the characters.' You could hear the core technical staff just hitting the ground, the budget falling through the roof, but it was all good. They found a way to make it work." Number 3. A Bug's Life. Only the second story of the Pixar films, this story nonetheless reminds the audience that thinking differently can lead to great things. Easter egg. As a matter of fact, Bug's Life was the first Pixar film to have outtakes. Hilarious! Number 4. Finding Nemo. This movie was the first of all the Pixar films to win an Oscar. It also teaches the valuable lesson that we cannot live in fear. Fun fact: the animated film Finding Nemo was a passion project for writer-director Andrew Stanton, so we can assume that his pitch for the cartoon was pretty compelling. Little did we know that he only needed one word. Apparently, John Lasseter, Pixar's chief creative officer, told Mr. Stanton that "you had me at fish." Wow, if only it was always that easy to get a movie made in Hollywood. Number 5. WALL-E. Set 7 centuries in the future, WALL-E carries not only the story theme of environmental conservation, but also a warning against complacency and laziness. Easter egg. The animated film WALL-E has an interesting correlation with none other than the Star Wars franchise. Let's talk about Ben Burtt, the man who gave WALL-E his voice. Now, this is a well-hidden secret, so don't tell anyone we told you, but Ben Burtt also was a sound designer for Star Wars and is credited with giving another robot, or should we say droid, their voice. That's right. Turns out Ben Burtt is responsible for giving the sound to both WALL-E and R2-D2. Do we hear the musings of an extended universe comic? Maybe WALL-E can make sense of that sequel trilogy? Number 6. The Incredibles. Though the film's thematic meaning skews closely to the Randian philosophy, its lesson of using our talents to better the world is a valuable one. Fun fact: ever notice anything about Pixar films besides the cool Easter eggs? Have you noticed that they're generally, or at least they used to be, about animals or toys or robots, but not really about people? Incredibles was the first Pixar movie to star human beings, so that meant a couple of things had to be studied. First off, Grey's Anatomy, the medical school text, not the show, was given to animators to help them figure out how the human body moved. Also, live-action footage of Pixar animators walking was used for reference. Since then, we've had a couple iconic Pixar movies featuring people, so it's hard to imagine a time without them. Number 7. Toy Story. The very first in the collection of Pixar films. This classic story of a cowboy doll's fear of being replaced is a great analogy for accepting change. Hidden secret. Here's our fun fact about the animated film Toy Story. Did you know that Woody wasn't always supposed to be a cowboy? In the original script, Woody was actually a ventriloquist dummy. The executives asked to change it for obvious reasons, but in case you're not terrified by these monsters, hello Jeff Dunham, it was because ventriloquist dummies were often associated with horror movies. So that change was made, and now we have the lovable cowboy. Number 8. Cars. As Pixar films go, Cars is not the most critically praised. However, its lesson that what your journey is more valuable than reaching the end is potent. Hidden secret. We hate to bring down the mood of this movie, but it seems that during the production of Cars there was a death. Not just any death either, but the death of not only Pixar's chief creative officer, but the writer and director of the film as well. He died on August 16, 2005, from a car accident mid-production. The film is of course dedicated to him, and so is Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, a film on which he was an executive producer. Number 9. Monsters, Inc. In a city powered by children's fear, it takes the scariest monster to realize that laughter and joy are the strongest forces of all. Hidden secret. Here's a very strange fact about the cartoon Monsters, Inc. It wasn't always supposed to be about the wacky antics of Mike, Sully, and Boo. Here's what director Pete Docter wanted to originally do with the film. My idea was that it was about a 30-year-old man who is like an accountant or something. He hates his job, and one day, he gets a book with some drawings in it that he did when he was a kid from his mom. He doesn't think anything of it, and he puts it on a shelf, and that night, monsters show up, and nobody else can see them. He thinks he's starting to go crazy. They follow him to his job, and on his dates, and it turns out the monsters are fears that he's never dealt with as a kid. And each one of them represents a different kind of fear. As he conquers those fears, the guys he slowly becomes friends with, they disappear. It's this bittersweet kind of ending where they go away, and so not much of that stayed. Whoa, that's a huge change from the end product. Number 10. Up. This incredibly touching story of an old man's journey to South America reminds us that relationships we build in life are the real adventures. Fun fact. Apparently, a movie by the name of The Station Agent inspired the Pixar animated film Up. The movie is about a man played by Peter Dinklage who moves to New Jersey after his only friend dies, meeting new friends along the way. We can see the similarities, but we think that the director Pete Docter describes the link the best. We looked at The Station Agent, a great, simple, character-based story of a guy who's much like Carl, who comes out of his shell. Casablanca is a similar kind of story. Movies that had a beautiful simplicity to them and a focus on character. And that's it. What did you think of our list? Are there any other cool Pixar facts that we might have missed? Let us know in the comment section below where we might have gone wrong.
Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Curiosity. Wait! Why not fulfill your curiosity by watching these other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or the right video and enjoy.